What right do you have to refuse? My heart ached when I heard this. She's dead. You can't threaten me anymore. I won't care about you anymore, and I won't be a walking blood bank anymore. I hugged the urn tightly, and tears fell on it. Grayson was a little surprised, then stood up and walked towards me. What? Do you finally think your sister is a burden? You're cursing her to die, and you're not afraid that the curse will come true. Okay, then I'll see if you're lying. As he spoke, he called my sister's attending doctor, but the other party immediately denied it. President Grayson, the person is fine and is still continuing treatment. My eyes widened in an instant. Before I could react, Grayson slapped me. He looked at his red palm in disgust. That's unlucky. Scarlett behind me kept laughing. I stood there blankly, and when I met Scarlett's teasing eyes, I understood that the doctor had been bribed by her long ago. 3 days had passed since my sister's funeral. During this period, Grayson never came back once. I chose to ignore the fact that he and Scarlett were having an affair openly. I no longer handled those dirty things for Grayson's reputation, like I used to do for the sake of the Grayson group. I could leave completely in 2 more days. Before leaving, I took down the marriage certificate on the wall and tore off my half. Then, I took off the diamond ring that Grayson and I got when we got married. This ring was a relic of Grayson's mother. Before she died, his mother solemnly handed the ring to me. I'm dead. You and Grayson must be well. He only has you. I gripped the ring tightly and took the initiative to call Grayson. Let's meet. The other party was stunned for a second. He seemed to think that I was admitting my mistake, and he said happily, Olivia, I knew you would take the initiative to beg me. Hurry up and come over while I still have time. After he hung up, he sent me an address. It was the villa where Grayson and Scarlett lived together. But as soon as I got to the villa, Grayson's bodyguards surrounded me, and Grayson's impatient voice came from the walkie-talkie. Drag her up here. Scarlett's dizzy again. She must be anemic. Hearing this, my face turned pale, and I subconsciously wanted to escape. The next second, the bodyguards grabbed my sleeves and dragged me into the villa. Quickly draw her blood. Draw it however you want. Grayson looked down at me condescendingly, while Scarlett beside him was holding her forehead and looked very uncomfortable. He spoke anxiously. Scarlett can't wait any longer. If anything happens to her, don't even think about your sister living. Grayson, you're crazy. You're killing someone. It's against the law. I struggled desperately as I looked at the thick needle in the doctor's hand. Grayson kicked me hard in the stomach. Don't move, or do you want your sister to die? Then, without any explanation, he had the doctor draw 1,000 milliliters of my blood one after another. I lay on the ground in a mess, looking at him caring about Scarlett, and felt very ridiculous. I covered the wound on my arm. Losing too much blood made my face very pale. Grayson, we don't owe each other anything anymore. I threw the wedding ring at Grayson's feet. His eyes left Scarlett and he looked at the wedding ring in a daze. He quickly picked up the ring. What do you mean by this? This was given to you by my mother. How can you just throw it away? He wanted to scold me, but stopped when he met my desolate eyes. He opened his mouth and his tone became unconsciously flustered. Okay, so I drew 1,000 milliliters of blood. As compensation, I'll have someone bring back the special medicine, okay? I guarantee that your sister will be able to wake up. I leaned against the wall and gasped for a few breaths. When I closed my eyes, I could still remember the misery when my sister died. No need. What are you doing now? Grayson was very impatient when I refused, and he reached out to help me, but I pushed him away. Scarlett's moans came from behind again. Grayson glared at me annoyedly, then turned around to accompany Scarlett, ignoring me. When I dragged my weak body away from the villa, I called Robert. Dad, I don't want to wait anymore. Robert was silent for a moment, then sighed. Don't worry, I've arranged it for you. Just leave after the family dinner the day after tomorrow. After the blood transfusion, Grayson took the initiative to find me. What he was holding was the latest special medicine from abroad, a medicine that my sister needed most. At least it could prevent her from having brain death. I've also invited experts from abroad. They can treat your sister at any time. Didn't the doctor say she was about to wake up? Maybe this time she can wake up and you and your sister can reunite. After being married for so long, I knew that Grayson was giving me a way out, but I didn't need it anymore. Seeing my unmoved expression, Grayson frowned in confusion. Scarlett is in a special situation now. She can't live without your blood. I sneered and looked up at him. So there's no one in this world with the same blood type as her? Does it have to be me? Is she going to die from anemia? Grayson's face darkened instantly, and he snatched the special medicine in front of me. You don't know what's good for you. No wonder your sister has been lying in bed for so long. Even if you beg me later, I won't give you the medicine. Let your sister wait to die. I looked at Grayson's back and smiled bitterly. My sister couldn't die a second time. On the day of the family dinner, Grayson brought Scarlett with him, probably because he was concerned about his father's face. The two didn't look particularly intimate. Robert just glanced at Scarlett casually and then said, Grayson, I called you and Olivia here today to announce something. Your brother will return to the country tomorrow, and I will arrange for him to enter the company. Your mother also has 20% of the shares under her name, and your father is not biased. It's just that what you did outside will affect the company. Almost the next second, Grayson stood up abruptly. He looked at Robert in disbelief. Dad, didn't you promise me that you would let me enter the company? Mom said that the 20% of the shares were mine. You're going to give it all to that bastard, but I'm also your biological son. His eyes turned red instantly, and his voice couldn't help but choke. Robert said very calmly, in the end, you still have to thank Olivia for these years. Although she is not a rich girl, she is the wife who helps you deal with those things behind your back every time you do those things. Otherwise, do you think you can play around in peace for so long? But this time you went too far. After all, that's Olivia's sister. Even if I agree to let you enter the group, the shareholders won't agree. Grayson clenched his fists, and he finally realized. All these years of resistance were wedding dresses in front of Robert and the bastard. You've been plotting for your bastard for so many years, making me marry the powerless Olivia, and now you want to tamper with my mother's will. Your conscience has been eaten by dogs. He trembled with anger and suddenly turned to look at me. Olivia, you're so cheap. You and my dad are working together to deal with me. You and Grayson are in cahoots. He roared angrily and swept all the dishes on the table to the ground. I lowered my head and ignored him. Robert was so angry when he heard Grayson's insults that his face turned green. He directly threw a divorce agreement on the table. Grayson killed Lily. Do you know that you killed someone? Today, I'll make the decision. You and Olivia will end the marriage, and you will be free from now on.